they know about the meeting. I mean, they approved everything, so. Oh, I notified them.
Okay.
So, in fact, as Linda, I sent a separate email just to say yes.
Where are you?
Is this for the council meeting, Mr. Bell? For the council meeting?
For the CRA.
Council or CRA? This is CRA right now.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I feel one.
This is wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Linda was a little bit late on the last one too, so hopefully.
I feel bad yesterday, I didn't realize you were out there waiting.
No, I could wait. I I had to just get out of there by 4:40 because I had to go pick up Emily from FFA.
From what, FFA? She's in FFA?
Jim.
Why did I get two?
You're doubly important.
I get 2 magazines of everything. Let's see.
I'll be that guy who borrow a pen.
Sure. I have plenty of pens.
I was bringing that.
I'm a
Me too, I
bad,
have like 6 of them.
I'm a bad Boy Scout. I did not come prepared.
Jim, we'll start at 105.
Is it 105?
103 right now.
2 more minutes.
There she is.
All right. We didn't want to start without you.
Did you see
I
Nikki
just
out
sent you a
there?
text.
Is Nikki out? Have you seen, was she out there? Okay. All right, well, let's, we can go ahead and get started, I guess. All right, well, we'll call the CRA meeting to order. Jim, you got a presentation for us?
Yes, sir. Jim Heck, Community Development Director, CRA Director. So what ended up happening is we are running out of time with our CRA, and basically it sunsets on January 1st, 2024.
Point of order, real quick. Are we supposed to be approving minutes?
Oh, actually, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yep. Need to approve the minutes from the last CRA meeting. Need a motion from a member.
So moved.
Got a motion by member Nesta and second by Member Becker. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Okay, next up.
Thank you.
Redevelopment Plan. Yes.
So what I'll do, just to read all the staff report into the record, it also gives a lot of good background information. So in this case, this is for resolution 2023-03 and is to approve or recommend approval to the city council for resolution 2023-37, which is to extend the CRA for an additional 3 years and also approve the interlocal agreement with Orange County for the CRA operations themselves. So the request again is these are two approvals. One is for resolution 2023 and the other one is for the interlocal agreement for the CRA itself. So for background, June 28, 1993, the city of Apopka adopted Resolution 9316, which created the Community Redevelopment Agency and also adopted the Community Redevelopment Plan itself. Because Orange County is a charter county, they also have to authorize the CRA, and they did that with Resolutions 93-M-38, 93-M-39, and 95-M-25 as required by Florida statutes 163.410. On September 26, 1995, the City Council and the CRA and Orange County executed the interlocal agreement providing for those operations of the CRA itself. This is also a requirement from Florida statutes. On June 21st, 2017, the city adopted Resolution 2017-10 approving modifications to the redevelopment plan. And on August 29th, 2017, the county adopted Resolution 2017-M-29 approving the city's modification to that plan. As you recall, that plan has a whole slew of different types of projects that we can work on. And we are. Following the CRA meeting, the city council, following this CRA meeting, the city council is scheduled to hear Resolution 2023-37 to approve this extension of the CRA termination date for an additional 3 years. The city had originally requested a 10-year extension that Orange County rejected, and that was originally Resolution 2023-35. Because Orange County has the authorization for any extensions, staff is recommending approval of the attached, this is in your packet, of course, CRA Resolution 2023-03, which recommends the City Council approve Resolution 2023-37 for the additional 3 years. In addition to the resolution, as I mentioned, the City Council is also going to be hearing the interlocal agreement for the CRA. In other words, you get to hear this twice for those of you on the council. This is also a requirement of Florida statutes. The Orange County Board of County Commissioners is scheduled to hear this request on Tuesday, December 12th, 2023 at 9 a.m. City staff will also present this request along with specific large item timelines from this fiscal year's budget. Orange County has also they'll be approving the 3-year extension for the CRA subject to the following conditions, which are going to be outlined in their resolution, but also in the interlocal agreement. The first one is that Orange County government shall be recognized along with the city for any capital improvement projects and other major accomplishments using tax increment funds. Please keep in mind that whenever we do projects in the city, usually it's all staff that does that. If we can ever involve Orange County with that, we will. Beginning in the calendar year 2024, so next year, in other words, within 90 days of the close of the city's fiscal year, which is October 31st, the city shall provide an annual update to the board, this is Orange County Board, regarding the CRA activities and the use of the tax increment funds. And the third caveat is the initial extension of the sunset shall be to January 1st, 2027, and with the ability to extend to January 1st, 2034. The extended sunset, which is would be the extended sunset. The city will also be notifying this request to extend the CRA beyond the initial sunset to the Deputy County Administrator at least 120 days prior to December 1st, 2026, and shall include, at the request of them, the CRA plan projects, which is part of the budget each year. the completion status for ones that we've worked on, and of course, anything that's concurrent or overlapping each fiscal year, and the associated TIF revenues spent on each project since October 1st, 2023, calculated as a means of annual expenditures divided by annual revenues. The county, although it's not part of those requirements, they are looking to make sure that we spend at least 50% of the funds. So in other words, since it's not part of the actual document, this is something that will be looked at as to how we're spending it, what projects we're spending it on, how major the projects are, how minor the projects are, but basically they would just want to make sure that we're spending the money. So with that, so again, we've got two recommendation for votes for the,
Let's ask
for both of
questions
those.
first. Okay. Commissioner Velasquez?
I'm hearing you say that the county's requesting that we spend 50% of what we have in the CRA.
What they are going to be looking for as part of their review to extend for an additional 7 years is that we are spending the money up to 50% or more.
And that's within the 3 years?
That's for basically each year. They want to see what we're spending and how we're doing it. If we have a major project that we have to hold funds over in order to accumulate enough in order to do a particular project, they'll take that into account too. But they just want to see the progress of those.
So how I'm interpreting this is in the paragraph in the interlocal changes, the Board of County Commissioners has agreed in good faith to approve this under conditions A, B, and C of the resolution. However, they're not going to look at the financial expenditures until after the initial 3-year period, at which time they'll look, it's not like they're looking every year post-approval, because that's not how this is written. They'll look back at the initial 3-year period to see if they want to extend, and they'll look back at the most recent fiscal year, see if we've spent the 50% of the revenues received in that most recent fiscal year, as well as 50% of the entirety of our CRA fund over the 3-year extension period.
Correct. Yeah, they'll be looking at each of the annual budgets that we present to them as accomplishments that we've been working on.
Now, but again, words matter in these things. So budget is different than expenditures, right? We can budget all day long and say that we're going to do certain things. But if they're looking at actual checks being written, cashed, and monies transferred, that's a different scenario. My question would be more around the force majeure, the things that are beyond our control in terms of looking at this thing. So I know this is a subset, and there's language on page 3 of the interlocal changes, and it says no other in the county contained in the interlocal agreement shall remain unaltered and in full force and effect. Are there force majeure or other kind of external factor language within that larger agreement? Because what I don't want to do is, and my only change, me personally, is within that paragraph where it talks about the 50% expenditure. The county will base its decision to extend the CRA to the extended sunset, and then the language that ensues. I would hope that we would change that language to may base its decision, because I don't want to force them into making a binary decision to say, hey, have you spent 50% or not? And if we're at 49.998%, and there's language in there to say they have to base their decision off of that removes some discretion by parties that would decide this 3 years from now.
We can make that recommendation to them, utilizing may versus shall. I don't know whether or not they will, because we basically got this from them. And like I mentioned, if we don't get this approved, the CRA goes away. And they're kind of dictating to us what we have to do.
So can you kind of talk through the doomsday approach here? So assuming that there's disagreement on language, or the thing dissolves, what happens? What happens to the money that's in there currently?
Once we reach January 1st, 2024, basically the CRA will become null and void. Any projects that we have in the hopper, which we've got basically this budget year, we can continue those, but there won't be any more tax increment funding coming from the city or the county. And we can continue. And if we don't have any funds expended after those projects that we've got listed in the current budget, then those funds would have to be disseminated back to the city's coffers and the county's coffers.
But from a risk perspective, if we have things budgeted, say the trail system, the skate park, all these other things that we have earmarked and encumbered today, if they'd voted to not extend this whatsoever, we would still have priority on those funds that we have today that are earmarked for those projects. We wouldn't have any other future revenues, tax revenues that would come as part of the CRA agreement.
Correct.
That's
That's
what I'm
the way I understand it.
So for us to, okay, I'll stop there.
Commissioner Velasquez, anything else, or you?
No,
Okay.
he touched on it. I just have some concern that, we get there and we haven't.
Commissioner
really-
Velasquez, can you pull your mic down?
Oh.
Yes.
And actually, put it on. Thank you so much. I apologize. Up till date, have we done any projects out of the CRA? Have we
Historically,
started a project, completed a project? Have we done anything to date?
we're finishing the design for the downtown trail right now, and we've got Radley and I are looking at different contracts that we can do for design for a few of the different parks that are part of the program. We've also we had to get 2 additional bids for the downtown directional signs or the wayfinding signs. And I do have I think there's about 5 different assistance programs that I'm working on right now. We closed out 2 the last month, and I've got 3, 4 in the hopper right now. So yes, just not the big projects. Big projects take a little bit more time for design. We did get the extension or the amendment for Station Street completed and sent over to Newkirk, so they'll be able to finish the one-way design for Station Street. The attorneys are looking at they're getting the easement agreements for 5 different properties for access and for utility easements for the trail also. Once those are signed, we should be able to go out to bid for the project probably within the next 2 to 3 months. In other words, this fiscal year.
So how many design projects do we have out there? Have design?
We've got about 5 different projects that have to go through design and engineering in order to make them work. The biggest one, of course, is the downtown trail. That one, we've got 2 other segments. Unfortunately, the train system, we were crossing the tracks at Marvin Zanders, and they wanted to go straight across from 5th Street versus going up to the trail or up to the railroad tracks and then crossing diagonal off there. So we had to do an additional survey and relocate for going straight across Marvin Zanders to the east side of Marvin Zanders, and then going north across the tracks up to Station Street where the Station Street project is. I'll have to show you on the map probably.
So what are we looking at for 2024 that we will literally start turning dirt somewhere?
All of the projects that were in the budget.
Okay.
That's 3 different parks, and those are the big ones, and then the downtown trail itself.
Okay.
It's probably the equivalent of those 4 projects are probably the equivalent of about 3.5 million.
Okay. Will you keep us updated?
Oh, yeah.
As they start?
Yeah, you'll be invited
So
to all
that
the
we have-
groundbreakings and everything.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Smith?
So what you're saying is that we are on track, that we will have at least 50% of this spent by the end of this 3-year period.
More than 50%.
All right.
For this year, and then once we get the other TIF monies in for the following fiscal year, we'll be adding a couple different projects into the fold.
Okay.
Commissioner Nesta?
No, no additional questions. I'll just be in attendance at the Orange County meeting next week just to see the direct feedback from the Board of County Commissioners. So no additional comment.
Thank you.
No additional comments or questions.
Okay. All right, anybody from the public wish to speak on?
Leroy Bell, 2308 Blue Meadows Court, Mart Helen. Last meeting, a young lady gave a presentation about Main Street, the improvement of Main Street, and Mr. Hicks has just mentioned about 5 things coming down the pike with the CRA. But it don't seem to be none of it over on that side of the track from where the lady put up from 4th Street out to Hawthorne, back down to 10th Street. And only thing I'm saying, if you're gonna expand the CRA for 3 years or whatever, what about considering before you do that to make sure that the commissioner wanna know when you're gonna turn dirt and when you're gonna start, when you're gonna turn dirt over here? Because in the mayor state of the city address, he was so willing to get up to speak about this young restaurant coming in. Oh, we got it coming down Hicks Seafood. But then, before you start giving out money to people and bragging on who coming to town, these people just messed up a young man by the name of Rufus Gardner right there on 8th and Central. Went in telling this man that, well, we're going to get CRA money from the city. I got the mayor backing me. I got Rod Love backing me. Owe the man $30,000. When is some of the money is going to go over here? I remember Commissioner Smith, you said everybody wanted to see what's going to happen up around Rock Spring Ridge where you live at. You wanted to see a pup golf course. Only thing I want to see over here is some of the business be built up just like on this side of town. It's more blightness over here than it is over here. The young lady explained, I think it's chapter 163, statute 163 of the CRA. It's blightness. It's for over here also. I want to see the city grow. I want to see the city have a nightlife. But I want the people on this side of the track to see more than palm trees and sidewalks. They paying into the CRA tax money just like everybody else. Please, I don't care if you like me or not, these people deserve representation on that side also. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wish to speak on this one? Okay, so we've got 2 recommendations. We need an approval of resolution number 2023-03.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Smith.
And so staff is not concerned about the language in there at all, about ability proof if we have another pandemic.
We would have to go back to Orange County if there's another pandemic. Just like anything else, you end up having to be, you have to move those requirements. I was thinking the same thing because you just don't know. But, there's negotiation involved.
Yeah,
There was no negotiation.
With this one, there's none. But if there was a pandemic, there'd be things to talk about.
The CRA agreement, there was no negotiation.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
And they just told us what they were going to do.
Yeah, they dictated to us. But if there was
So that's where I'm confused. Why would we take the posture of, we just have to get told what we get told? Like,
because they.
I can help you with that.
please
There you
do,
go.
because I don't want to sit here and.
Because we're in a
We
charter
seem very-
county, and because in a charter county, all they have to do to say no is no. We could make the best case ever, and they'd say, yeah, but we don't want to extend. And so it is unfair that they're giving other cities 10 years without any kind of probationary period like they're kind of giving us for 3. But they can do it. And, it's like if he who gets to be the king gets to make the rules, and right now they're the king because the CRA is optional in a charter county. If they were non-charter county, we could do whatever we wanted, but that's not where we are. And so it's not as if, I don't know if you saw the email trail, but trust me when I tell you, Mr. Hitt sent a number of emails questioning, why are you treating it this way? And all they got back was, this is our way. Are you going to fix it or not? Which with the or not was, or you won't get anything. So that's why.
Yeah, maybe I've lost the plot a little bit because, again, I mean, in all fairness, we haven't spent the funds like we should have over the years. And there's other projects that have come out of CRA that I think is worth mentioning. The parking lot was one of them. I mean, that was a major expenditure. That's a,
And the design for the downtown trail, it's a little over 2 miles. And between the surveys, getting the surveyors on board, realizing that there's, during some of the surveys, this is where we found 4 parcels that had utility lines a little bit farther on the property than what they should have. So we've got to get the easement agreements for those. And then some of the design specs going down Station Avenue or Station Street. We're doing that one way from Central Ave all the way to Park Ave. There was a lot to do in where you're involving all of that along with all the utility locations. And the other good thing is that this project does affect people and properties on the south side of the track. So this is something for that, where we are replacing.
Yeah,
We're replacing all the aprons. We're doing a 10-foot trail. We're lighting it for safety purposes, landscaping. 6th Street's getting basically a new. It's getting repaved for that portion also. So it's a huge project.
Have we helped any businesses on the south side of Apopka?
Yes, we have. I'll get you the list. Yes, we have in multiple times, multiple locations. I'm also talking with another gentleman who's interested in reopening a restaurant down on Central Ave. So yes, we have addressed. I can't. If people are interested in getting assistance, all they have to do is give me a call, and a lot of them have.
Yeah.
Just as many there as we have any place else.
Okay.
So back to your question for Cliff, I mean, it's,
There's a motion.
No,
on the
it's
table.
not.
no, I mean, yeah,
we're public meeting's closed.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give fodder to other governmental organizations that will be deliberating these topics. At the end of the day, I'm most interested in us using the freaking funds. I mean,
This is
like I've told you in private and in public, and I've probably said it
Yes, sir.
ad nauseum and on this body, this is the one fund in the city that everybody wants you to spend the money out of. They're happy to see it spent because typically they're able to see the fruits of the capital improvements, whatever improvements that go into the community. So again, the 3-year period seems arbitrary. My concern, but 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever the number is, the fact of the matter is you're putting some pressures to spend the money on the things that will improve the city, which I can completely get behind. It's just more of the nitpickiness around, maybe it's more legalese, legal speak around 50% definition. Okay, if come that high noon that day and they do the assessment, if we're at 49.999% expenditure, and have we met the good faith of what we're trying to accomplish here? And so I'm maybe nitpicking to a degree that I don't need to, so.
I don't think it's nitpicking, Vice Mayor. The reality is in 3 years, and assuming good faith on the part of the county, if we can show that we've done some substantive things that make for a real pretty slide presentation, we'll get another 7. So we got the pressures on now to use these 3 years in the most productive fashion that we can as a CRA. No city should ever walk away from a CRA because it's free money, but you have to, to your point, spend it.
Right. And again, not to harp it, not slideware, but to Mr. Bell's point, success stories of businesses that have been positively impacted, community testimony to say, look what we did, pocket parks, the skate parks, the trail system, actual physical success stories that we can
Yep.
highlight. So anyway, all right.
So Got a motion, okay, motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Now I need a, oh, really? That doesn't make sense.
She's a county, Linda's a
Yes,
county
but
employee,
she's
but
sitting
she's
as
on
a
the
CRA.
board.
Representative?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't, you don't have a conflict. You're supposed to vote.
That
It's not a
just means you're
conflict. Usually the people who work for the county are also the representatives in all the CRAs where they have a county representative, Maitland being an example. So that's not a problem. We used to have an assistant county attorney, Lila Ingate, I think was her name, on the CRA board for Maitland. She never recused herself. Trust me, I know about conflicts. You're fine.
Okay.
So it's a yes? Okay, okay. All right, so unanimous. Then I need a recommendation for the interlocal agreement between the City of Apopka and Orange County for the CRA. No, I'm just looking for recommended approval, motion for the interlocal agreement.
I would move it. I would just have a recommendation to staff when you present this, if they would be amenable to changing that from a will statement to a may statement, just so it gives us a little bit of latitude there, but you know, I'll move to approve as is. With,
Can we have, I don't know if we can have a sliding resolution, can we? That, whatever we can't,
so what I'm getting hung up
Yeah.
on, Cliff, is the
Shall.
statement within the interlocal says the county will base its decision based off of the 50% spend, expenditure, and this, that, and the other. Will is a very binding clause, correct? I'm saying that
Yes, I get the point, and the question is it,
Can't
if
change.
terminology dictated to us as opposed to our choice of words, then we should stick with it because we do not want any glitches when we go before the board. If it is language that we chose, then yeah, we can change it. But they've been dictating a lot to us.
So maybe take it away from the formal motion, but I would encourage to see if the Board of County Commissioners during their deliberations, you can always put forth that our council thought that the word choice may be too heavy-handed. If they can use the word choice of may, that would be preferred. If not, yeah.
That is a reasonable suggestion to make, and they might take it well. It's hard to say. This whole process, as Jim, I raised the red flag as soon as they said 3 instead of 10. I said, what is going on? So right now, we're just going to say, okay, yes, sir, can I have another? Because we need to keep it going and use the money.
well, to Commissioner Becker's point, if we ask for a may, then it would, if they approve a may, then it'd have to come back to us to approve the may. Is that right?
Unless you put in there a motion that says, unless the county's amenable to the suggestion, so it could be a part of what as our motion. We approve the resolution as a will, but we're also amenable if they would make the change to a may. That way he can say, and we don't have to come back here, that it's already been agreed to.
Yeah, that
that
would be
good?
the spirit of it.
Okay.
So do I need to regurgitate that, or
As long as Susan's got it, I think we're good.
Okay.
that would be my motion.
Got a motion by Commissioner Becker,
Second.
second by Commissioner Nesta. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries unanimously. All right. We got, anything else, Jim?
Where was
CRA,
that? What page?
into the regular.
Oh, okay. There